Hello, my Biblio darlings. Welcome to Bibliothesia. My name is Mally, and Bibliothesia means I bring stories to life for you through my reading them. Now, before I read you today's story, which is Mr. Sneeze, we're going to do a couple of exercises, and these are two exercises that remind our body that we are safe right here and right now. So the first exercise is known as a 4-4-8 deep breathing exercise. And the second exercise is I'm going to share some knock-knock jokes with you. And when we hear jokes, we laugh, and when we laugh, our body automatically and naturally relaxes. So with that, let's do the first breathing exercise, and that is a 4-4-8 deep breathing exercise. So you're going to pretend you have a pretend balloon inside your tummy, and you're going to inhale deeply and making that pretend balloon bigger for 4 counts. Then we're going to hold the breath for 4 counts, and then we're going to exhale out the breath for 8 counts. So with that, let's make our pretend balloon bigger and inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And now hold the breath for And now exhale out for 8 like you're blowing out wind or birthday candles. Oh, that deep breathing exercise always makes me feel so calm inside. And now I'd like to read to you 3 knock-knock jokes. Knock, knock. Who's there? Oscar. Oscar who? Oscar, silly question. Get a silly answer. Get it? Ask a silly question. Get a silly answer. Okay, here's a second one. Knock, knock. Who's there? Paul. Paul who? Pull up a chair. Let's talk business. Oh, get it? Pull up a chair? Okay, and here's a third one. Knock, knock. Who's there? Peas. Peas who? Piece of cake. Get it? Like piece of cake, but piece of cake? But in all seriousness, what would a cake made of peas be like? Have you ever made it? Let me know. Okay, so with that, we're going to read today a story by the name of Mr. Sneeze, and it's by Roger Hargreaves. And Mr. Sneeze looks like, if a sneeze could have a picture, it's what Mr. Sneeze's head looks like. It's like jagged edges all over the place, like a sneeze. And Mr. Sneeze is blue except for a wide red nose and 2 eyes. Let's see what life is like for Mr. Sneeze. This is Coldland, which is a country somewhere near the North Pole. The weather in Coldland is winter all the time. When it isn't snowing, it's freezing, and when it isn't freezing, it's snowing. So you can imagine how cold it is. Ooh, that sounds really cold. Because it's so cold in Coldland, everybody who lives there is cold as well. You can tell somebody comes from Coldland because everybody there has a red nose. And people from Coldland aren't the only ones with red noses. In Coldland, you can see red-nosed dogs chasing red-nosed cats, chasing red-nosed mice. In Coldland, you can even see red-nosed elephants. And look, this elephant has a red nose. I've never seen a red-nosed elephant. Have you? Mm-mm. And what you hear most of the time in Coldland is a noise that sounds like this. Achoo! The sound of the sneeze is very common indeed in Coldland, which is not very surprising, is it? Mm-mm. This is the story of Mr. Sneeze, who lives in a small snow-covered cottage in Shivertown, the capital of Coldland. Oh, I just looked at the picture, and everything is white and looks so cold. Brrr. Every morning, Mr. Sneeze woke up, sneezed, got up, sneezed, got dressed, sneezed, went downstairs, sneezed, ate his breakfast, sneezed, and went to work. Still sneezing. Oh, poor Mr. Sneeze. He looks like he's about to have another sneeze. I don't like this sneezing all the time, he thought to himself, every day, until one day he decided to leave Coldland and try to find a cure for the sneezes. So that very same day, Mr. Sneeze packed the things he'd need for his journey, mainly handkerchiefs, sneezed, locked his front door, sneezed, and set off. He walked and sneezed and walked his way across Coldland, and then he sneezed and walked and sneezed for days and days until Coldland was far behind. As he walked away from Coldland, he noticed that there was less and less snow, and eventually he walked so far that there was no snow at all. And as he walked, he noticed something else. He wasn't walking and sneezing, he was walking and walking. For the first time in his life, he wasn't sneezing. Not at all, not a bit, not even the tiniest achoo! And look at Mr. Sneeze, he's looking around, there's no snow around, there's sun up above, and he is smiling. This must be so different for him. I wonder why I'm not sneezing, he thought to himself. But he must have thought his thought out loud to himself, because a voice behind him replied, "You're not sneezing because you haven't got a cold." Mr. Sneeze jumped, turned, and there behind him stood a wise old wizard. Look at the wizard! The wizard has a big mustache and a long pointed beard. He's got a wand in one hand and he's wearing a black cloak. Pardon me, and he's wearing a wizard's hat. It looks like the wizard hat, that's also black. The wizard's hat has a yellow moon, and it looks like some gold stars. Or maybe a gold moon too. What's a cold? Asked Mr. Sneeze. A cold is what you catch when you're too cold, said the wise old wizard wisely. Oh, said Mr. Sneeze, but I come from a country called Coldland, where everybody is too cold all the time. Nonsense, snorted the wizard. It can't be too cold all the time because of the sun. And he pointed to the sun, which was smiling in the sky. Look at the sun! It's smiling, and it has a big smile on his face. Aw, or her face. I'm not sure if the sun is male or female. But we don't have any sun in Coldland, said Mr. Sneeze. No sun? Exclaimed the wizard. How extremely extraordinarily extraordinary! We'd better do something about that then, hadn't we? Yes, agreed Mr. Sneeze, not quite knowing what the wizard was talking about. I don't know what the wizard is talking about. How far away is this place called Coldland? Asked the wizard. Oh, it's miles and miles and miles away, replied Mr. Sneeze. In which direction? Asked the wizard. Mr. Sneeze pointed. Shouldn't take too long, said the wizard, who then waved his magic wand and muttered some magic words, which wouldn't be magic if we told you what they were. And look, there's the wizard, and he's waving his wand, and looks like there's yellow, green, and red magic coming out of his wand, probably going to Coldland. Whatever those magic words were, they worked. Before you could say sneeze, both the wizard and Mr. Sneeze were transported to Shivertown, which you all remember is the capital of Coldland. As usual, it was snowing. I say, this is a cold, gloomy place, said the wizard. Achoo! Replied Mr. Sneeze, who had started sneezing again. Coldland certainly needs some sunshine, said the wizard, and that's going to take some rather special magic. Please hurry up, said Mr. Sneeze, who was rapidly turning into a snowman. Oh, look at Mr. Snowman. He's all covered in snow. Oh. Now, said the wizard, ignoring him, I'm going to say some magic words, and I want you to sneeze 3 times immediately afterwards. The wise old wizard then held up his magic wand and muttered some more magic words, which again wouldn't be magic if we told you what they were. Achoo! 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 Sneezed Mr. Sneeze. Then quite suddenly, as if by magic, which indeed it was, the sun came out from behind the big black clouds, and it stopped snowing. Look at the sun! The sun is peeking through 2 big clouds. There now, said the wizard. That should stop the sneezing. And then, After muttering some more magic words, and without even waiting to say goodbye, he disappeared. Mr. Sneeze just stood there in the sunshine watching the snow begin to melt. After that, the sun shone every day, and today Coldland isn't anything like it used to be. You can't see the red-nosed dog chasing the red-nosed cat chasing the red-nosed mice anymore. And these days the sound of a sneeze is a very uncommon sound indeed. Look at Mr. Sneeze. He's no longer a snowman, and he looks like he's smiling and happy to feel the warmth. I would too. And even Mr. Sneeze didn't sneeze anymore. But that isn't the only thing different about Mr. Sneeze, as he discovered himself when he looked in the mirror one morning. Can you see what was different about Mr. Sneeze? It happened one other time too. See if you can find the page where that was. Oh, let's look. Well, it looks like his nose is the same color as the rest of his body. It's blue. What did you think of Mr. Sneeze? Oh, that's such a cute story. And I have to agree with Mr. Sneeze. When I'm in cold weather, oh, I just get so cold. But then when the sun comes out, I get so nice and warm. But not too hot, because then I stay indoors, because then it's too hot. I sometimes feel like I'm like Goldilocks, where sometimes it's too hot or it's too cold, so I like it just right. So we've come to the end of reading Mr. Sneeze. And remember that deep breathing exercise? Let's do it one more time. So when you're ready, make that pretend balloon bigger and inhale deeply for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's hold the breath for And now let's exhale the breath like you're blowing out wind for doing that deep blowing exercise always makes me feel so relaxed. And now I'm going to reach over and get my joke book. Are you ready? Here's the first joke book. Knock, knock. Who's there? Owen. Owen who? Owen, you open this door, I will sing you a song. Owen, oh, got it. Oh, when you open the song, I will sing you a door. Oh, sing you a song. Okay. And here's the second joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Pencil. Pencil who? Pencil fall down if you don't wear a belt. Oh, pants will fall down if you don't wear a belt. Okay. And here's a third one. Knock, knock. Who's there? Phyllis. Phyllis who? Fill us in on your big news. Get us? Fill us in? That's cute. Well, with that, it's been so wonderful spending time with you today and hearing the story of Mr. Sneeze and doing deep breathing exercises and hearing jokes. Well, as always, it's been wonderful spending time with you. Remember to click on this on the subscribe button, so please subscribe and click on the bell notification. And until next time, bye!